Hello boys and girls, this is Kansas Hillbilly Prepper. This is probably the only rant I'll do on this subject. It's driving me freaking crazy. I want you all to stop and think about what you do. Think about a few things that I'm about to say. Now I know every one of you can take this as a ranting of a stroked out dummy like me, or you can take this as a plea from a fellow American. But you know, me and Mr. B over there have a big problem. See, as Obama has it, he wants everybody to be scared of him. I got news for you, Obama. If you want to be an American, you can grow up, get some balls, and hold your gun. Otherwise, sudden stand down, let somebody else be president that knows what the fuck they're doing. Let's put it this way. Our country is founded on guns. We had a revolution. We had a civil war. We've had 2 world wars. And every time the United States has come to every goddamn aid there has been to help the other, well, you know what? This time it's the United States that needs help. For once in our life, it's on us. And I'll tell you what, I don't like what I see coming down the pike. If it had been 10 years ago, I'd say, hell no, it's not possible. But now, it's been 10 years. I've watched a lot of good people die on the news. We've had another couple of wars. And why? Because our government has an agenda. Our government wants us passive. Our government wants us all to shut up and just be little good little Americans. Well, I got news for you. America, one, we were able to be entrepreneurs. We were supposed to be thinkers outside the box. And also we were supposed to be armed to the teeth, so no one could ever make fear in us again. Now, what is 90% of our public? Scared as shit. Scared of our government. Our own United States government. The greatest land there is, and now it's in the shit pot because everybody's fucking scared of it. No one wants to stand up to the great and almighty leader because he might get offended. Let me tell you a few things. Number one, you know, Stalin, Mao, Hitler, they all three had one thing in common. They all first took the guns. And how did they do this? Well, they implemented mandates. They implemented, what was it called again? What was the names of them again? Bills. Those bills were to make sure that they could take the guns, because if something terrible happened, and something terrible and horrific is going to happen if they keep the guns. Well, guess what they did after they took the guns? Something terrible and horrific after each one of them, and yet another one still come to fill in the next one. And the people fell for it again. They did the exact same thing over. That's why they say, if you don't know your history, you are bound to relive it. And sure as shit, we're about to do it again. And we're about to do it in our own country. Who's going to come to our aid, people? You better start thinking real quick. We need a leader. Number one, I am no leader. I'm just an old ignorant bastard sitting here remembering and wishing that I was young again to stand up and not let this president put us in this predicament. You know, the way this country was set up is supposed to be God, the people, and then the government. As it's sitting right now, the way I see it, the government thinks it's God. It is trying to rule all of us. and it's ruling by fear. Fear? How did they get at that fear? Well, let's go back and think. Well, first they took out the New York building. Well, let's see. That put a lot of fear in us. It also sent us to war, but yeah, what's a few thousand people to die when they go over and kill a few million kids? Well, okay, that gets rid of some of your main supporters, and you don't have to worry about a couple of generals dying, you know. Get some of the gung-ho out of the army. Well then, as they do, while they're off doing their thing, guess what they're doing right here at home? They're telling us, oh, we need better measures for here at home. Someone might come bomb us. Ooh, terrorists might come and get us. Well, pretty soon, every little media, oh, well, terrorists are going to come get us, by golly. Some guy had a fucking match, tried to light it on a goddamn airplane. Oh, boom, it's going to blow up. Then they keep having all these nice little, if you notice, 2012, again, the world's going to end. Well, you know what? That's all called fear. And then people go and they build their little bunkers and they get ready and they get fearful and they set back. And then when someone tries to stand up, then they make a point to knock them back down. And they make them pay for it. And then everybody else is like, oh, I don't want to stand up. Well, tell you what, boys and girls, if we don't find a leader real quick to stand up against this regime, we're going to be in trouble. You know what? We got fined $461 million. Tell me something. She's a goddamn governor. Since when did government being a governor pay you that goddamn good? You know what? Everybody says, oh, well, we need to do this politically. Okay, let's look at this political stuff. I've watched for month in, month out, everybody going, go talk to your representative. Tell them that you want this. You know what? I get a letter back every time saying the exact, to the T, same words as the other, maybe changed a few, but they're the same exact duplicate as what the other one sent. Now you tell me, is our government listening? No. They have an agenda. They have what they want to do. And that's what they're going to do, no matter what we say. They want our guns away from us because if we got guns, we can fight. Why do you think millions of smart Americans went out and bought a gun after the kids got killed, were supposedly killed down in Connecticut? And I say supposedly because I still ain't totally sufficient. I'm not seeing one body, and an examiner comes out and tells me that the big long rifle does it when they pulled the son of a bitch out of the trunk of a car. And now all of this is based on one happening that came from a guy saying, hey, the long rifle did it, and the damn long rifle was in the trunk of the car. 4 pistols did it. You know what? 4 pistols, okay? Let's look at this. There was 2 men running. They didn't have nothing to do with this. Just that boy, and he was on drugs. So now let's go after the mental people. Yes, I'm a little upset. This is a rant. And that's what this is. If you get upset with this, I'm sorry. Forgive me for God, for something I may sin here. But this rap is pissing me off. Somebody that's actually tried to do something, every single one of them has been put down. A general stands up and says Obama did treason. So you know what they do? They go out and they tell the media follows up, and pretty soon everybody's pissed off at that general, and nothing he says that makes any sense, and there's no way of proving it. We are, if something happens to us, if we lose our guns, and something happens to us, we deserve it. Because you know what? We've given up. We've given up on ourselves. We've given up on the United States. We've totally dishonored our dead. Now, every one of you guys out there that are military, I admire every one of your asses. And the thing is, you can't say nothing. I understand that because you have things to answer for. But there's other Americans out here in better positions that could do a whole lot more. Oh, and Benedict Biden? Oh, yeah, Benedict Biden. Let me tell you how come you need more than one bullet. Let me tell you why. It's called tyranny. The Second Amendment is about tyranny. It's about the tyranny of a government. It's about a government that tries to take over and hurt its people and oppress it. Now, this is a rant. Yes, it is. And I'm sorry. And this is how I feel. And I'm sorry if you disagree with me. But you know what? Guns kill, yes. If a person picks up a gun, pulls the damn trigger, yes, it's going to kill somebody. My dad always taught me you never point a gun at somebody unless you plan to kill the son of a bitch. Well, I guarantee you some son of a bitch comes, kicks in my door, or comes in at nighttime, I guarantee you he's going to be laying out on that floor when he's done. This is called the castle law. Read it up. I am so sick and tired of hearing the mumbo jumbo. Well, we need to talk to our senators. We need to do this. Well, yes, if we're going to do something, we better do it soon. Because you know what? Pretty soon there won't be nothing for us to do. Our senators are not listening to us. Our representatives are not listening to us. Do you guys get it? We can talk. We can send them letters. All we want. And it goes in a fucking mailbox. And somebody sends out administration. Oh, he sent us a mail. Okay, we'll send this letter back out. And then it comes back. I'm sorry, the 20 kids down in Connecticut died, and we're extremely mourning them right now. We cannot answer your question. You just gave them a whole fucking line of how to fix the place. People, please use your mind. What was you taught? I understand the kids today are being taught something totally different, but we weren't. Don't be fools. This guy is using us. He's using our fear. Well, this was my rant, and I'm sorry, and I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, and I'm not calling anybody names, and if I hurt your feelings, please don't be too butthurt, because I don't know what to say. One thing is, I know it's getting dire when a president goes and lays off a general because he won't shoot an American. Let me tell you, there's something wrong with that. Now, you can put this off as the ramblings of a stroked out dumbass like me and say that it's nothing. But I'm speaking from the heart, my people. And if you don't want to do nothing, well, so be it. Nothing will be done. But if you want to get up and do something, hell, line the goddamn street. But don't just go out there and start screaming. Go out there, sit down. Don't allow no traffic to come through. Don't spend no more money on video. Don't give the media nothing to eat off of. Take their money from them. Stop using the oil. Stop using the gas. Use as little electric as possible. Do what it takes. Remember what they did whenever they had a gas crisis when I was in 76, I believe it was, 78. I don't even remember. I was too young. And they were all out marching because of the fact the gas price went over $2. Think about it, people. Our power is going away. The people is supposed to be, the way the republic was set up, was God, us, and then the government. And we make the government. We are the power of the government. We put the son of a bitches there, and we take them away. But people, if we do nothing, the government's going to be stomping on our ass. Because right now the government's thinking it's God. And if you didn't hear that in his inaugural speech, then you're missing something big. Because he got up there and said right out front that Constitution was an old form. Well, let me tell you something. That Constitution was made on blood. Blood of our ancestors. That lived, that died, and spent blood for our freedom. For our ability to be able to sit here and say what I'm saying. And to be able to stand up. But to be able to not be afraid of your government. And people, are you afraid of your government? Ask these 3 questions to yourself. If anything's taken out of this, 3 questions. Am I scared of my government? Has my government listened to anything I had to say in the last 2 months? And third of all, do you believe in your heart of hearts that the American way is spent fighting ourselves, putting our own people out to the plantation? No, it's united we stand, divided we fall. And my people, we are very divided. We need to get that cleaned up and get back to business. Get back to making our own business. This man is built on a cooperative society called socialism. That means there's one ruler. That means the rest of you are all pissants. And all you thinking that you're going to be getting up the ladder because you're helping them, you know what? They'll stomp on you later. But right now you're a useful little part of the ladder. So think about that for you, those of you that are helping. Oh, God bless y'all. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even be blabbing, but this is a ranting, but it's also food for thought if you really think about it. I'm sorry, people, for yelling. Sorry for all the rants. God bless you. I pray for us all that we all get out of this alive. But I have a lot of doubts. This is an addition to my rant. As I said, this rant is all about guns. I've been ranting because they're trying to take our guns. The only reason our government wants our guns, people, is so it's easier to put in place a more socialistic society where government rules, people rule. It's pretty simple. I'm going to leave some in the description down below. Rants of another person that is very good at ranting. She has a different perspective because there's actually 3 things we need for life: air, water, and food. Well, air, well, you know what it is. You need your air. Everybody's got their own air. They can't do much for our air, but they sure the hell can do something about our water. They do have the equipment and the technological how to make it a little hotter to evaporate just a little bit more water or freeze us to hell. So you figure they have that, but I ain't going on that because that's a conspiracy theory. But I will say this: they are trying to take our food. They are trying to make it so they have pure control of the food, so that we have to go to the government. That is why all the stuff that this next ranter will be ranting about is because of the fact that she sees it happening. Our government is not about us. They don't give a crap about the people. Only thing they care about is more power, more money, and more ways they get to have fun. They get to go have their vacations. They get to go have all the fun they want. I believe, what was it, $426 million Mr. Feinstein enjoys? Who knows how much a nice president's owing. Obviously, his wife gets to go everywhere, so she ain't saying much. If I was getting to dance everywhere, I'd probably shut the fuck up too and go wherever. But let's just look at it this way: we're just disgruntled people. I must be just a poor idiot, and that's probably what I am. But let me tell you something. This idiot's been around right around 40 years. Well, more than 40 years, but let's just put it this way. I've watched what I was taught in school has no meaning nowadays. What we believed is no longer believable. We used to have faith in our country because we ruled our country. It's supposed to go God, we the people, and then government, because we the people pick what goes into government. Well, somewhere we the people screwed up. And the government decided they're going to make we the people whatever they want. And they're doing it. We still need a leader. We need someone to stand up and go for it. And if the government decides to slam him for everything he's done in the past or whatever he's done, you can either stand to believe it, but believe me, people, video was meant to be an illusion. It's always been to be an illusion. And the thing is, they make that video, they make sure people go down. Someone tried to challenge the government, they're slammed. Let me tell you something. If there's a general out there that will, that's the next one that's in line. So you guys better start thinking quick, because we ain't got long. As soon as he gets those generals in line, well, we're next on the list. So whether you want to believe it or not, whether you can wrap your head around this. I mean, I realize it's hard to believe all this BS bullshit. And believe me, it took me a while. But I started paying attention. And when a president fires a general because of the fact he won't take aim at us, when a president shouldn't even be taking aim on the United States, and then a president tries to mandate everything with presidential pen, think about it, people. Is this a president, or are we free? Are we really, really free? They're cutting our southern Texas. You better be watching, because he's. I don't know if it's true. I don't even know. But it said that he's taking down our nice little radar system that we've had installed in the United States to protect us from any incoming missiles. And you better think about this. Texas is one of the hardest fighters of our Second Amendment right now. So what's a little missile going to Texas, or well, basically they're doing a routine how to take down U.S. problems or whatever, and how to do basically and with other countries take down the U.S. So if you want to be part of Project Silent, whatever it is, go ahead. But I tell you what, folks, anybody that's trying to help the government, you're just going to get stomped on. But that's okay, because you deserve it. This government is not about America. This government is for itself. It's self-absorbing. It's self-caring. And it don't care about us. If it gave a crap about us, see, what it wants us to do is be dependent upon it. So it takes our food. It makes sure that we cannot make it ourselves, so that only they get it. So that only we have to go to them for the food. Use your heads, people. Please. Or either we ain't going to have a U.S. left. I'm sorry to rant, and I'm sorry this is taking so long. Bye.